Ready.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 12 of the Tenderloins Podcast, the old baseball cap edition.
Yes, it is, man. We're all in hats.
What's going on, Joe? You never wear a cap.
It's a rare appearance for me to wear a cap because my hair is shit today.
Yeah.
This is, I'm sorry, you said this is episode 12 of the what?
Tenderloins Podcast.
What is that?
It started off strong.
Yeah, episode 12. We were supposed to do one bi-weekly. Or was it bi-monthly?
Bi-monthly, twice a week.
Bi-monthly, twice. Supposed to do 2 a month.
Yep.
And then, so bi-monthly, is that 2 a month or every 2 months?
2 a month. That's your phone.
That's our phone. Kept that on.
Check that. So we're supposed to do it that's how we're supposed to do it. And we started in April of 2012.
This is our 12th episode.
18 months later.
Hold on one second.
Hold
on one second. I want to put this in. There we go. We got a brand new mic.
It's a hell of a microphone here from Blue.
The Yeti mic.
The Yeti mic from the Blue Company. We highly recommend it. Send us a free one.
All right. Wait. There we go. Well, we already have one.
Yeah, but then we'd have 2.
What was the date of our last podcast?
Joe's birthday.
Okay, so June 5th.
Yep.
Okay. July, August. So we're about 2 months. We're about 9 weeks after that.
Yeah.
Basically the summer.
Yeah. We took the summer off, though. We're like teachers.
No, we've been making a TV show. It's not like... And Murray's not here.
Yeah. Murray's in Sweden right now. Eating Swedish meatballs and riding roller coasters. At La Dunka.
What does that mean?
It's like their Six Flags.
Oh, you're not even making a joke?
No, I saw it on Facebook. It was like
Dunka?
I made the name up. It's like that, but it's like some big.
It's definitely not that.
It's ish.
We talked about this the other day because Murray was going to Sweden to consult on Impractical Joker's Swedish edition.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And what I know about Sweden: Swedish meatballs, Swedish fish.
Yep.
Swedish House Mafia.
Yep.
And there was one more Swedish
IKEA.
thing.
IKEA.
No, but it wasn't IKEA. That's not what I said.
But it started with Swedish.
IKEA is Swedish?
Yeah.
Swedish massage?
Swedish massage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And whoa.
So
she's using my...
you have one Stacy Patella here. One job, cat wrangling, and already cats are all over the place. There we go.
Swedish.
Do you think Swedish people like? I know a couple things about Americans. Fat. Loud. Yeah. Baseball.
Right. Warmongers.
Right.
I mean, I feel stupid that's all I know.
I feel like we do that a lot about other countries, the 4 of us specifically, but I think Americans in general always like, yeah, what do you know about Denmark?
I don't know anything. I don't know a lot about anything.
Right, but do people flip that and be like, what do you know about Americans?
I don't pretend to know.
Any international listeners out there, go ahead and just send us what you know about Americans. But it's not fair because we don't get a lot of Swedish programming, but they have all of ours over.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's true.
Well, Nick's programming aside, I don't know anything about any countries, and I feel horrible about that. I shouldn't really be saying.
Where are the Alps?
Those are the Swiss.
Right. So I thought for a while that Swiss meant Sweden. It doesn't.
Switzerland and Sweden are different things.
Yeah, I just learned that a little while ago.
Because I did ask if Sweden was neutral. That's Switzerland.
And
that's
bank
chocolate.
Accounts. Bank accounts.
And that's clogs.
Knives.
Where's Dykes?
Swiss Army knives.
Dykes are everywhere.
Is that the Lower East Side? No, the Dykes, right? You put your finger in the dike. That's the Lower East Side.
I don't know what that means.
No, you know the dams, right? The big dams.
Okay.
Where is that? I thought that was Sweden.
I think it's Sweden.
Switzerland is their chocolate, isn't it?
Yeah. Swiss Miss chocolates.
Chocolate, and then don't they have? Are they blonde and
hot blondes?
Hot blondes. Is Switzerland?
I think
it's
both of them.
No, it's both of them. I think that's it.
Are they of the same bigger area?
You want to look this up?
They have who's clogs?
Clogs?
Denmark.
Dutch.
That's
see, that's where
don't get the Dutch involved.
This is where it messes you up because Denmark they're called Dutch. Switzerland they're called Swiss. Why? Why aren't they just called Dutchian or like Denmarkians? Right? Why do they got to switch it up?
Switzerland people Dutch?
No. Denmarkian people are Dutch.
So the only people who are Dutch is people from Denmark.
Right, Denmarkians.
So Switzerland is Swiss.
Yep.
Sweden's Swedish. Are they all from the same area, though?
Europe.
No, but are they near each other?
Yeah, Denmark is right on the top of the water there, and then the Sweden, and the Finland, and the other one comes
Finland's
down.
another one.
Yeah, Finnish.
They're finished.
No, they didn't start yet.
No, so I don't know anything about these people.
Any of these people.
Right? They
all I know is that they all play all of their
Oh my
types.
God, they're not even close to each other. They're far away from each other.
They all
Which
played
ones?
villains in the 80s. That's all I know, all these guys.
Which one?
Swiss and Sweden, they're not even close to each other on the map. I thought they were like
No,
Switzerland
Switzerland's
and Sweden.
upstairs. Switzerland's part of the fingers. It's Finland, Sweden, and Finland, Switzerland, and
that's Sweden
yeah,
next to Norway.
Norway.
and
That's the other
Finland.
one.
Norway.
And
Norwegians.
that's Switzerland, all the way the fuck down there.
Switzerland's near like Spain, isn't it?
Well, yeah, relatively.
Well, it's closer to France and Italy.
But Denmark's up in there. Denmark's up by the Finland area.
Denmark's right there.
Yeah, it's a little island. See, the only reason I know that is because in 8th grade I did a report on Denmark, and all I remember is they have a big Ferris wheel.
So Switzerland, we always thought was amongst those, and they're not.
Yeah.
And then those up there: Denmark, Finland, Sweden, and Holland.
Holland?
Now, where's Holland? Holland is someplace else. Holland is like
No, Holland's part of that whole shit.
no. Holland's not its own country.
What?
Holland's not its own country.
Holland
Is another country. What
is
country
it?
is Holland?
Where's
No, it's-
Amsterdam?
Amsterdam's in Holland.
Okay, great.
No, Holland's not its own country.
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Of course, they're Hollish.
No.
this
I'm pretty
is
sure Holland's not
insane.
its own
Holland
country.
people are Dutch.
This is insane.
And
Holland is
people-
Dutch. Holland is. Isn't Holland like Amstel Light?
Yes.
It is, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe.
Those are all known as what? Like Northern Europe?
Norwegian states.
Norwegian? No, Norway is Norway.
I think you're doing that thing where you say thing with authority,
Yeah.
but you don't know the
They're not
truth.
Norwegians. It's Norway is Norwegians. That's all it is.
No.
Norway, Holland, Dutch, Denmark, Holland, Norway, Sweden, Finland. All those types.
Yeah, of the
where you
Norwegian
feel like someone's
states.
playing a flute and they're wearing wooden shoes and there's a lot of chocolate and they're in braids.
And
their
they're
hair-
blonde. Yeah.
Yeah. That is all considered what?
Northern Europe.
No, we sound like assholes.
Where are the Northern Lights?
That's
way up
that's up
north.
That's like Greenland.
Like the pole.
Poles.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's the Northern Lights.
I'm telling you right now, I know nothing about geography. I'm telling you. When you were young, they didn't teach it.
When you were younger, did you have to fill it? Did you have to fill in a blank?
No, they taught you. I'm saying to me, they didn't teach it.
They taught
did
you.
not
You pay
teach
attention.
that. They did not teach it.
In 8th grade, Mr. Molinoff made me fill in a blank European
European
map.
Never filled in an American.
A European map in 8th grade. That was your final in 8th grade. That was it. That was the whole test.
I'll tell you what they should do. Honestly, they should just drill you on the president. Like, okay, we had U.S. history, but they never really harped on like making us learn the presidents. But they should.
Yeah, they did.
No, they did for you.
What school did you go to?
Joseph and Rosebank. I'll expose them right now. They closed down this year after 40 years.
That's
Maybe
why.
I caught up to them.
Yeah.
But I never had a class, even in high school, or even in college, I never had a class titled geography. Did you?
And I had a course in grammar school with geography.
Yeah.
Geography in grammar school.
Absolutely.
I did not have that.
Yeah.
I did not have that.
I had geography. Yeah.
I don't know much about the United States.
Psychology. You don't know much.
I don't know. The United States, you could throw one at me right now, maybe look like an idiot. Go ahead.
States?
Yeah.
While we've been traveling, we never know where we are. We have to go to Cedar Rapids. We're like, where is that?
Yeah.
Where is Iowa? I don't know where Iowa is on a map.
Yeah, I know it's somewhere in the middle, right?
I know that Oklahoma is shaped like a pot because I did a project with them in the 7th grade.
I mean,
This is something,
I'm
boys.
telling you right now, history and geography, I'm lax on, but I was very good at applied stuff like math.
Right.
I was pretty decent at English. Things you had to but not history and geography.
History is not my
And then you take that with you. Like if you don't sit down and study it and commit it to memory, you don't know it.
ever.
So it's not like I could learn it now.
When's the last time you learned something?
Well, do you mean like a life lesson, or do you mean like
Not a life
factual
lesson.
thing?
I mean, when's the last time you learned something?
Probably a little every day.
Yeah,
Right?
you learn something every day. Joe.
Okay. No, what's the last thing you learned?
The last thing I learned.
Of use or like world history type shit?
Anything that you remember right now when I ask you the question, what's the last thing you learned?
Okay. What do you mean about subjects that we had in school? Because I just learned how to use
anything.
I just learned how to use a digital video converter today. Took it out of the box of Brookstone and I started transferring analog tapes to digital.
Okay, so that's learned something. Yeah.
That's something you can apply in the real world.
Okay.
All right. Like today, if I was home all day just thinking about Finland.
Didn't happen. What about you? What's the last thing you learned?
I reading a book that starts out in Ireland in the 1600s, and they kept fires lit in their house 24 hours a day for years and years. Like if they said if the fire went out, the soul of the house died. So that you would buy a house and start the fire, and you could never let it go out.
Is that a real
historical or fictional book you're reading?
What's that?
Is that a historical or a fictional book you're reading?
It's a fictional book, but the point of the book is it follows this guy through history, kind of like a Forrest Gump thing. So I imagine it's pretty accurate.
Oh.
Either that, or I learned that an author thinks that's true. So you can go either way on that one.
He could have been like me and just said something with authority. Now you think it's true.
You're excellent at that.
I learned that dogs go into heat twice a year.
Wait,
it's not every month.
After you get them fixed, even?
No. If their vulva gets, their Volvo gets.
The dog males? Oh, you have a female.
Yeah,
just because cannoli's not in heat, right?
No, not yet. But we gotta get that taken care of. Yeah. So they're it's only twice a year, and I thought it was like every month that they go into heat.
No, yeah, twice a year.
Twice a year. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I knew that from I had a dog.
See, well, that's what I learned.
All right.
Look at all.
Wow.
So Murray's in Sweden.
What do you think he's learned in Sweden?
Actually, I saw something on Facebook that if I have it correct, there's a picture of a Viking ship that he was at.
Oh, Vikings!
I didn't look into it because I don't really go on the Facebook. But as I recall, they found a Viking ship in the silt and raised it and restored it. And I think that's what he's at taking pictures of, which would be fucking amazing.
Oh, all right. I thought
he's learned lots of shit.
Okay.
He's always learning that, Mar.
So what's up, boys? What have you been up to? What do you got? Fill everybody in on your lives.
Oh, man. We've been working.
Working, yes.
Filming and shit.
Sure. So we have season 2. The back half of season 2 has begun airing.
Yes.
That was August 1st. Mm-hmm. So we're 3 episodes in. It's on Thursday nights at 10. And then, of course, we're going to ride this out until November. And then the 3rd season, which we've been signed on for, begins January 2nd, tentatively.
Yeah, tentatively, January 2nd, yeah.
And then we have a new show called After Party, which is going to be a studio show. Mm-hmm. What would be
a late night variety show, if you will.
Yeah, in a space, in an indoor space with a right. It's not a studio.
No, it's not. Technically not a studio.
Not a polished studio.
Not a polished. Well, nothing about us is polished.
with a light audience. Mm-hmm. Where we...
You mean not heavy? Like not heavy set?
With a thin audience, because everyone knows a heavy audience is no good. And it will be us hanging out. It'll be us talking about how we make After Party, showing some...
How to make Impractical Jokers, yeah.
I'm sorry, how we behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yep.
We'll have some guests, friends, maybe some public figures or otherwise hanging out with us. Might play some games, do some audience interaction,
hijinks,
all sorts of stuff like that. Might show some sketches.
Yeah. Yes, sketches is what I'm most excited.
Yeah, we're excited. The next couple of weeks, we're actually going to be sitting down and figuring out the whole thing and start filming that in early next year.
Yes, and that will air with the back end of season 3,
tentatively.
Yeah.
And True TV got on board as sponsors of our tour.
Yeah.
That's the other big thing.
That's big.
Our tour kicks off, our fall tour kicks off September 13th. We start in Philadelphia and then go up to Connecticut. And then we go all over the place till February, right?
Yeah, we'll be away about 2 weekends. Well, yes, we will be away 2 weekends a month from September through at least February. And then we'll announce more dates after that.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's a lot of work.
So we are coming to your town if you're one of the ones listed.
That's right. And we have some other surprise projects we're working on that we can't speak about.
Right.
That will be announced sooner or later that are very exciting.
It's our nude calendar. Right. We're super excited about.
Wait, we start airing...
early next year.
Early next year. Yeah. But we're shooting until March.
Yes.
And then after that, it's anybody's game.
Anybody's game.
We don't know if we have another season after that.
No.
We don't know what's going on.
No.
Okay. But if we're shooting until March, you can imagine then the show is going to be on the air until
August.
Oh, so fucking great. That's a cat upstairs.
It sounds like a human being.
No, it's the kitten.
It sounds like a human being rearranging furniture.
It does. I don't know what's going on up there.
It's Brooklyn cat. She gets rambunctious.
That cat is 2.5 pounds. How's it making that much noise?
5 pounds.
All right, that cat is 5 pounds. How is it making the noise of Sal running around?
What she does is she runs down the hallway and then slides to a stop and hits the door, and that's what you're hearing.
I like what's going on here in Q Manor.
Yeah?
This is my first time in Q Manor with a lot of Renovs That's renovations happening.
Yeah.
He's got, where we're here in the, he's got a lot of stuff from Restoration Hardware.
Yes.
He painted a chalkboard wall, which I found awesome.
My OCD is kicking in with that straw. I'm so sorry. It really is. I'm starting to get my whole thing's getting tense.
That's such bullshit. But I will move it to you.
I promise you.
There's a straw pointed at Sal 3.5 feet away from his face.
So he can't deal with it.
That's changes.
I mean, you got a lot of artwork going on. You got a big delivery coming tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow I get the Twilight Zone pinball machine delivered. I'm very excited. And the Love Tester machine, also very exciting.
You got the old school Nintendo setup.
I had a bit of a Nintendo party yesterday. Yeah, this is the lab. I'm pretty excited, dude. You know what? I fucking played Super Mario Brothers 3 yesterday. The first 4 levels. It was sick.
Holds up.
Oh, beyond
the yellow
awesome.
one?
Yeah, the raccoon suit.
Raccoon, yeah.
Flapping that tail around, flying over the fucking
jump behind the background.
Yes,
I love that.
Of course.
I got Nintendo in the 5th grade.
Yeah.
It was $79.99.
Right.
I had some birthday money, and I had a black and white television with a dial.
Okay.
That's what I hooked it up to first.
Nice.
I had Super Mario Brothers and only one other game that I bought with it, baseball. Nintendo baseball.
Tecmo baseball?
No.
Nintendo baseball.
It was just called baseball.
Right,
yeah.
Remember they had soccer.
Right.
Whatever. Tennis.
And it was like a black label with like an outline of like a wire, dude.
And that's all I had. And I used to get so into it, especially like with the baseball, like, you're getting into like the ninth inning, you can't shut it. My mother was like, you have to go to bed, you have to shut that off. She used to tell me I have to shut it off because she wanted me to play hours in a row. So I would pause it and shut the TV off.
Right.
And then the next day, I would go to school, come home. This is from the night before. So the Nintendo was paused like 20 hours or whatever. Right. And I used to come home and unpause it. That was before we had memory cards and stuff.
That's how you got your Nintendo. That's how you got your Nintendo? How'd you get your first Nintendo?
I bought it with my own money.
You bought it with your own money?
Yeah.
I got mine for Christmas.
My aunt bought it for me.
I got mine for Christmas, and I was it was so bad. My parents gave me all my Christmas gifts, right?
Right.
And they gave me everything, and all I wanted was Nintendo. And they gave me a bunch of other stuff, and I'm like, all right. And then no Nintendo. And I was like crushed. And my mother was like, "Oh, do you like all your gifts?" And I was like, "Yeah," like one of those. And then on the bar, we had a bar in the house. It was 3 wrap gifts: one for my grandmother, one for my grandfather, and one for my aunt, which were really
accessories.
Like they were a gift for Gina, a gift for Colin, and a gift for me, and 3 big gifts. So then I opened the gift to my grandmother, and it was Nintendo, and I burst into tears crying.
Crafty.
No,
crafty
did they catch that on?
Totally
did they catch it on
video? I don't think so.
Oh, that would be so
Yeah, I don't
you ever
know
see that commercial?
video.
They actually made it into a commercial. It was a YouTube clip of the kid opening, like, it was...
Oh, yeah.
It's like, yes! He starts screaming. They actually bought it and then made it into a real commercial, yeah.
I have my original. This is fun. This right here is my original NES that I got from my aunt when I was a kid. Doesn't work. I found out yesterday. That one that I played all day yesterday, I was driving along in my car, and I saw it on, like those piles of garbage. It was garbage night. Sitting on top of it was just the system, and it was rained on for like 2 hours.
No way.
I was like, you know what? Let me grab it. It's an old NES. Like, worst comes to worst, maybe I could swap out a piece here or there. This one doesn't work. The fucking garbage rain one works like crazy.
No.
Yeah.
Do you have to blow?
You don't even have to blow on that one.
Yeah, I don't have to blow on any of my tapes.
Do you think that really worked, the blowing on the tapes? Or was that just a
Sure,
thing?
of course. Proof's in the pudding, my friend. I blew into it and it worked.
Absolutely. That was the cure-all. That was the fix.
That and Q-tip with the
Rubbing alcohol, yeah. Remember they used to sell the game kits, the game cleaning kits?
Yes, that was a scam.
It's such a scam.
1985.
Wow.
Like, you have to, and then you put it in, and then you push it to the left, right?
Mm-hmm.
You put it, then you put it in, push it to the left,
and push
then
down.
you hit it, and you're like, oh, it's still it works.
Yeah.
That's, but, I'll never give that up. I also been playing the Wii U, so I've got both ends of the spectrum. When you came over there, I was playing Pikmin, which is a fucking great-ass game.
You love that, huh? I haven't played it.
I love Pikmin. Yeah. It just calms me.
I'm going to be out of the country when Grand Theft Auto 5 comes out.
What are you going to be? Oh, that's right.
I'll be out of the country. I had to go 2 weeks.
Did you pre-order it?
Playing in 2 weeks.
I feel,
no, I'm not going to pre-order them because I'm not going to be here.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Remember when you went through a thing where you I'm going to buy every system, and you had every system and you never played one?
Yeah, it was like when the Wii came.
Yeah, it was on the Wii. You had PlayStation 3.
I'm like, I'm buying them because you got to have them.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the lines, I gave up on video games because I didn't have the time. And then they got too much.
No, I think I should play them.
If I'm gonna jump, I don't want to hit 9 buttons.
Yeah, you get overwhelmed by controllers.
The problem is you could never properly handle first-person shooting.
That's it. That's it. I was just about to say.
Do it.
That's what started my downfall in video games. The ones where you're running and you're the guy, and maybe you see just his hand.
Yeah,
or like the gun.
You need to see a body. You need to see
the body because you run on the beach at Normandy or whatever,
right? Sure, Normandy.
And it's
right. That's right. That's the Holland.
Every direction. Up by the fingers.
Yeah.
And then you're getting hit from every direction, and there's explosions, and because there's one button looks up and down, and one button looks around, but then one button runs. So if you don't get them all, I'm always looking in the air doing twirls. Is what it is.
Shooting up in the air like a crazy. You did come over to my place once and we beat Lego.
Oh, you guys were obsessed with that Lego stuff.
Was it Batman? Yeah. No, Lego Star Wars. And one night we played for 13 hours straight.
We played double trilogy. No, but that is back up my alley.
Yeah,
because that they did that. That
was made for children. My nephew, who's 8 years old, also beat that.
The directional arrow shows you where to go. A jumps, B swings the sword, right? And that's it. And then that's it. There's no instructions.
Yeah. Like you and I remember. You and I one night played the Warriors on PS2.
That was unbelievable.
Almost through to the end, we moved you a big white leather couch in front of the TV.
Yes.
And we sat on it. We just switched off fighting gangs and stuff.
I was jealous of that night. You guys told me
but
about
I think that was rather simple as well.
But that was called third person perspective. Like it's over the shoulder.
Right.
Yeah.
But side note, do you remember that game where our jaws dropped to the ground with how violent and how bad they cursed?
They were cursing. They were like, fuck you, bitch.
No, they were saying, they were dropping N-words, C-words.
They were dropping N-words? I don't remember that.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I was flipping out. I was like, I can't believe what I just saw. Like, they literally go up to a girl and they hit her with a bat and they're like, you see... Like, not you see, like you see.
Not use your eyes, you see.
Like, you see next Tuesday? And I was like, oh my God.
Right. That was a good night.
Yeah, that was fun.
I miss those nights.
I know.
I miss those nights so much.
I really still think that we should buy four houses that converge together and just have one common room in the middle.
Yard?
Yeah.
No.
That would be awesome.
Like a cul-de-sac.
Another thing they started doing...
Sketch House.
Another thing they started doing was like those 2-on-2 fighter games, like like Tekken.
Yeah.
Like to do these power moves.
Oh, I know.
I mean, you got to have the booklet open by your side.
I know.
And then you got to look down and you have to press 11 buttons.
There's some people who commit that to memory, though.
But I still try those. It's the ones where it's like, all right, you need 100 man hours.
That's because you can see the whole body. When you're only good if you can see the whole body.
No, all these ones where you need 100 man hours to beat it, it's like, oh, really? And you can't complete one mission, and you have to do the mission 40 times till you complete it. Now,
but you're like Candy Crush.
But I'm getting into my 30s. Yeah, but I am
getting into your 30s.
you're well into your 30s.
What the fuck?
You get close to your 40s, man.
I'm referencing when it started to fall off.
Okay, all right.
I'm approaching my 30s now. I can't do 7 hours a night anymore. And I certainly don't want to do... It started with Grand Theft Auto, too. I stopped doing the missions. I just jumped out of the car, raped the girl, and take a Trans Am, and that's it. Whatever. Not rape, but
Is that
punch.
A secret?
Is that up, down, down, or something?
I think I'll punch her.
You got sex with a prostitute in a car.
That's what I meant.
But it was,
And then you punch her after that, and then you take
you
steal
back. Well, fuck yeah, no hoes taking my money.
That's right. Hoes and pimps may do that.
That you know what it was? That was enough for me. I didn't need to do a mission. I do the mission, I fail. Do the mission, I fail.
That's because you failed when you did the missions.
Do the mission, I fail. But it's too much. It's too much. When you get to the boss at the end of Spider-Man, and it's like, all right, let me stop. But you know what? It's not for me anymore.
Yeah.
Me and Joe are big into it still.
Yeah.
I used to sit down and watch you play it. Like I was watching a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
Uncharted, you watched me play almost the whole game. You would come over just to watch me play
It was like a movie. And BioShock. Right?
Yes.
The last one I really did myself was that Resident Evil.
Oh, yeah?
That I did it, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
It was good
on
news.
PlayStation. And then, this is not exciting to end. So that's my whole, video game thing.
No, what would be exciting to talk about?
I buy those things that you plug right into the TV and you play like Pac-Man, Centipede.
Now that's the whole thing, the nostalgia ones, right? I got that whole Atari set up. I think your cat just shit itself.
I don't know what she's doing.
Your cat just...
No, she's pushing around the scale in the kitchen.
Your cat has superhuman strength.
She's great. She's a great cat. Very strong cat. The vet told me that.
Yeah? Strong cat?
She's a very healthy, robust cat. Which is not the same as Fat, which is my other cat over there.
It's good. You have
That's a big cat.
One cat literally right now is on the couch sleeping in a fat ball of fur. The other one is like cleaning the refrigerator.
But let me ask you a question. A heavy pet is solely your responsibility. That's you, right?
Hold on now. When I adopted him, he was 3 pounds heavier.
Oh.
We're slowly losing weight.
You adopted
Haven't
him
you
how
had
long
that
ago?
cat years?
No, I got him...
You're really taking
It's
your time.
on my weight loss plan.
No. I got him in, April? Yeah.
Oh, that's your brother's cat.
That's my brother. Benjamin cat's downstairs.
Okay,
He's not going to come up. He's perfectly of weight.
So you're weaning him.
Yeah.
All right.
And the kitten, actually, since I got Brooklyn, he's been exercising a lot more, too. She's really amped the energy in the house, as you can see.
Yeah, she looks wired right now.
Well, that's a he, and he's sleeping.
That's it.
Cats sleep about 18 hours a day.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I'm a
I
cat.
want to be a cat. Here's something that we did that there's a fun story to tell behind.
Okay, so this is going to be exciting for the podcast.
Yeah,
listeners.
we'll switch back off to something exciting. We were invited to the premiere, the premiere of the movie Grown Ups 2.
That's right.
We were invited to the premiere of the movie Grown Ups 2.
We're telling the real story here, right?
We're telling the real story.
Okay.
So it was our first movie premiere as together, right?
Right, as
As
guests.
as guests.
Right.
As
That's our
guests.
first red carpet appearance together. Right. We went to do it.
And there's this thing, like a lot of people don't even know this, but we're learning these things as we go along. Apparently, those people on the red carpets are set up to be there by publicists it's not like, hey, we made a movie, let's invite our friends.
Yeah, it's not that at all.
It's not that at all. Like, publicists vie to get people on the red carpet and,
take pictures,
right?
and
Do interviews and stuff like that. It's all bullshit. It's all like another opportunity to get faces out there. So with that in mind, True TV set up us on the red carpet
we did some promos for Grown Ups 2, and we had a little bit of that was the connective tissue, and then they invited us. Exciting, Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, those guys. So we went. So we said, all right, well let's go.
Right.
And we
show up to the red carpet.
And so you have to walk the red carpet. That's it.
It's an absolute zoo. There's people yelling at people. There's much more important people than us in front of us and around us.
I mean, we were right behind. We were sandwiched between David Spade and Chris Farley's brother.
Yeah, Chris Rock and David Spade were in front of us.
Right.
And Chris
and
Farley.
Shaq.
And Shaq.
It was Shaq, Chris Rock, David Spade, the Tenderloins, and then Kevin Farley.
Yep.
And one of the women that were in the movie,
Maybe
too.
Kevin James, too. Yeah, we somehow got in the middle of them.
Yeah.
And the way it works is, it's maybe it's like 50, 60 feet long, whatever it is, and all the press is on one side of a gate, and there's the photographers and there's interviewers. And the lights are shining on you, and you basically kind of...
There's so many photographers.
There's a couple of hundred
photographers, yeah.
And the flashes are all going off. And then you step on, and there's like this little... thing behind you, it's called a step and repeat.
Right.
It's basically just
a little banner,
a poster or a banner behind you. You take your first shot there, and then you move along, and you kind of go in sections.
Step, stop, repeat.
Yeah.
Right.
Stop, repeat. Step and repeat.
So we get on, and I'm like, well, I don't really know who necessarily watches our show or doesn't.
Right.
Who these photographers are going to know us or not.
Or whether they're going to know us or not. Who cares about us being there or whatever.
Right. And it's embarrassing. It's an unnatural feeling for me. My own personal thing was like, this is stupid. I don't want to be doing this. I feel ridiculous doing this.
Yeah.
Right.
I know Murray, I wish he was here because I know his answer to that would be a lot. He would be like, yes, finally on the red carpet, ready to go. And I'm not saying he's wrong and I'm right or I'm right, I'm wrong. I just felt like a douche.
Sure.
A douchebag.
It's very unnatural for all of us. This is not. It's a very unnatural thing.
Right. But we're going through the four of us together.
So we're there, friends together.
I mean, and we understand the benefits of it. Like, you're supposed to be there and you're seen. And then that like kind of helps. It's all about media impressions and all that stuff. And just kind of getting our name and our face out there. So maybe more people might watch the show. Sure. And then there's the whole thing where it's a cool element of it. Like, oh crap. Like, we're online and Adam Sandler's here and we get to sit next to him and watch his movie. And that's cool.
Yeah.
So we went.
We do these things to remedy exactly what happened at this thing, which was not one fucking photographer.
One
photographer out of hundreds knew who we were. And
I don't even know if they knew who we were. One took a photo.
No, he knew. He was a fan of the show.
Oh, was he? Okay.
And every other one just spent time yelling at us to move on.
Get the fuck out of the way.
So you imagine if David Spade and Chris Rock were before us, it's just screaming, look this way, because they all want
David, Chris.
You see it on like all these shows, these entertainment night shows, whatever, and they're screaming because they want that photo, and then they have to go speak to that person. So it's just an angry mob of an excitable mob.
Right.
Look over here, blah, 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 blah. Exciting. And then you see that wave. You see the.
So what you're saying is we had a direct comparison.
Yes.
To the excitement for them and the excitement for us.
Right. How many people yelled David?
Hundreds and hundreds.
How many people yelled Sal?
0. But you see 200 cameras go off.
Yeah.
And it's almost like when the stock market opens.
Yeah.
Right? And then as he
walks by,
as he gets 10 feet down, and the next people, which is us, to step up, it is... I mean, you might as well be in a swamp in the middle of the night.
Yeah. People are changing their film. No one's even looking up. No one even looked up at us for the most part. And my favorite part of us, this is why I love us, was that we continued to pose and change our poses because fuck them. You don't know us yet,
right?
But you will.
We were like, you know what? We're gonna be funny through this. We're gonna have fun through this.
Fun through it,
and no one's taking photos, but we just like kept on posing like we were like it was our movie premiere. The one guy snapped a photo, and then one lady locks eyes with me.
This is great.
She locks eyes with me, and she goes, "Keep it moving!" And I look at her. First of all, I'm standing on the thing,
right?
Yeah. So I was invited,
right?
So she knows I'm not just like
that guy who walked in.
Regardless of if she knows who I am, right. I still am a guest.
Yeah.
She goes, "Keep it moving! Get out of the way!"
Because the other thing too was it was so cramped and there was 4 of us.
Yeah.
So we're like trying to shuffle along the buffalo.
And I swear to God, she locked eyes with me. She locked eyes with me and she goes, "You! Get out of the way!" And I was just like, I don't know where you want me to go. Like, if I go forward, I'm going to knock into Shaq. Like, I don't know where to go. And she just made me feel horrible.
Yeah.
She made me feel horrible. What a horrible person. Because even
she's just trying to get her job done, buddy.
Even if I step away, like, okay.
You're making room for a more popular person she wants to waste her film on.
Well,
my favorite part is the next day I Google image searched Grown Ups 2 premiere.
Yes.
Just for giggles to see, right? And I Google search Grown Ups 2 premiere step and repeat. And there was, I'm not lying, 40 pages of Google images of different shots of everybody and everybody else. Ask me how many there were of the Tenderloins.
There was none, right?
1. Ask me what the site was. It was a United Kingdom site. It wasn't even it was like .uk. It wasn't even in the
picked up
not
overseas.
even it was got overseas.
Over by Switzerland.
Over by Switzerland, yeah. They went big with the Swiss.
I thought we were redeemed because once we walked past that area and like you do a turn into the theater, but in that turn, in that neck, like the crowd on the sidewalk,
yeah, this was cool.
The public can stand there and watch people go in, and man, we got hit there.
There was fans there,
a lot. We ended up going out there and taking a lot of pictures with fans of the show and signing autographs, and people were genuinely excited. So we had a real man of the people vibe going about us.
But the problem was we already walked the red carpet, so all the photographers didn't take a picture of us, and they were like, "Come on, these guys!" But it was too late to do anything about it. We'll get him next time, boys.
Yeah.
Grown Ups 3 premiere.
That's it. But Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
I had some nice words to say. We got
Met
to meet
Shaq.
him.
Shaq had some good stuff.
Unprompted. I had originally thought somebody went over to bring him over to meet us.
No.
But that wasn't what happened. He saw us and came over and he quoted the show, which is fucking insane.
Really cool.
Yeah.
He said him and his kids watch it.
Yeah, that's nuts because I know people rip on Adam Sandler for his late career maneuvers, but man, oh man, that guy made
still
some
Adam
fucking
Sandler.
best comedies I've ever
Yeah.
seen. So it was pretty surreal.
Yeah, so that was that experience, which
I can't wait for the next one.
well, that wasn't our
Well,
first.
wait. We kind of continued on because where we sat.
Have you ever showed up to a movie so late? Like, think about Batman Begins comes out.
You show up 2 minutes after the movie.
You show 2 minutes after, right?
Opening night. Where you
Those
sitting?
seats where you sat were one row better than where we ended up sitting.
I was in the front row,
First row.
last seat all the way to the left. Yeah.
we were in the first row and we broke it up.
Yeah, weren't even
So that was, and we watched from the front row extreme left.
But sitting behind us were the kids that were in the movie.
Yeah.
The actors that played all.
who also watched the show.
Well, huge. They asked for pictures afterwards and stuff. But the kid who played
Kevin James's daughter.
No, yeah, she was good. She was great. But Chris Rock's son
Look good.
was like, what goes, oh, this is so excited. I want to hang out. You guys coming to the after party? And I was like, no, we didn't
Get invited to the
after party. And his face just dropped. He was so embarrassed. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. And Eric, our showrunner, who was a friend of David Spade, went to the after party and he kept texting me the entire time. You're like, it's so much fun. There's so much shit happening here. You're missing everything, famous boy. So it was good. It was, it's good.
Well, just to be fair, Joe and I attended a concert, a Rolling Stone concert.
A Rolling Stone party.
Party.
Yeah, it was a Rolling Stone issue party featuring Macklemore was there to perform live.
Yeah.
And it was at the Bowery Ballroom.
Roseland.
It was at Roseland. There was Sal and I were by ourselves.
Yeah.
And there was a red carpet full of photographers. Sal and I didn't break stride.
Right.
Just walked the whole way.
We got this same setup. And we got there a little early. And so no one had really walked through yet. And they gave us our bracelets to right this way. And she gestures toward the red carpet. And I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. And Joe's like, oh, it'll be hysterical. Let's just walk down it. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. And he's like, come on. I'm like, all right. And then we just walked the red carpet, literally power walking, like the senior citizens in the mall in the morning.
That's right.
We power walked the entire red
and no
carpet.
one even looked up.
We did, but we didn't look up.
Yeah.
And no one else looked up at us.
It's like it never happened.
So we went through the whole thing without anyone looking up. So there you go. So this is
It's good problems to have, though.
Just regular guys on the red carpet. This is our first experience with it that we're sharing with you.
We like to share it with you guys because it's as awkward for us as it is for you to listen to it.
Yeah. We won't talk about the Shaq text about.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so Shaq's so cool, right? So we meet him that night.
Yep.
And he has a show on True, and he's really cool. And he was supposed to be on our show a couple times, and it just never happened. But he knew of us, and of course the world knows of him. So we got to say hello to him, and we exchanged numbers with him, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then a couple of weeks later, when our show was airing for the first time, we were doing some interviews in the morning.
And you both ended up at Good Morning America.
Good Morning America, and Shaq was at Good Morning America, so it stands. Mm-hmm. So
he was doing a thing with the Boys and Girls Club and his mother.
That's right.
Yeah.
So Q's like, oh, he's here. He's in the same building. We should just text him and say what's up. So
I texted him, and this is the text. And understand, it's gonna sound like I'm making fun of Shaq.
It's not.
I'm not. This is the best text I ever got, and I'm gonna read it as he wrote it phonetically. So I go, hey, it's Q from Impractical Jokers. Sal and I are in the green room with the Boys and Girls Club. Come up, say hi, or we'll come down to you, say hi. He goes, damn, bro. Sorry, my phone was in the car. I just left. See you soon, though. Love you guys.
Now, he is so cool for writing that to us. He's so nice.
It's fucking unbelievable. It blew my mind that Shaq just texted me that.
Right.
And that he kept it real.
He did get it right. Yeah.
That was so cool. Like, first of all,
I just got a text from Shaq on my phone.
If you, how many times did you proofread your text before you sent it to Shaq?
Oh, dude, I'm like a fucking scientist.
what was great is that, first of all, like, Shaq was like, he missed us and was sorry that he missed us.
Yeah.
And like, he's like, oh shit. Like, I totally have my phone in the car. Like, he explained it. And then he's like, we gotta see you guys soon. And I love you guys. And that was, I mean, you can't get a cooler text, you know, from he was very nice. But we just loved the fact that he just like wrote it just unedited. Like, like, you know, like, and the car was like I was so thrilled at those words. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? It just like
thrilling.
It just, dude, Shaq left his phone and the car. You know, like, what do you want him to say? Like,
it's him keeping it real.
It's him keeping it so real. And so we're like, oh man, we have to keep it real back.
You have to return the realness keeping.
I write word, exclamation point. It's to Sal. And Sal goes, there is literally no other text that you should send him other than word, exclamation point.
We're like, how do we keep it real back? And how do we tell him that we got his text, we got his message, we appreciate him keeping it real, get back to us whenever, we're okay with everything you said, and it's all one word. It's word. And he sends Jack back, word. And, well, if it wasn't like, if we didn't think that was the best thing we've ever done in our time,
it was perfect. I mean, we didn't hear back from him, so maybe
we're like, well, make sure
his phone might be in the car.
Make sure he doesn't, you know. But we're like, word. I mean, I say word all the time, but to do it
to Shaq?
To do it to Shaq, you know, like, it's just like, I don't know. And that, for me, is the best three text exchange
I've
ever seen in my life.
I mean, we run into a lot of surreal shit doing this TV show, but that's like tops. The John Mayer stuff is always like fucking on my list of shit. Word. That's what we should call this episode, right? Word. There we go.
Word. Went to Comic-Con.
We went to Comic-Con. That's right. Holy shit, we got so many updates.
We didn't talk about that. That was surreal for me.
Yeah.
I'd never been around those kind of people.
Comic-Con was fucking great.
What do you mean those people?
those
are some fans of comics. It was insane.
They loved the
comics. I couldn't believe I got into a little run where I just started taking pictures with people. Remember? Mm-hmm. We were walking back and I was just getting blown away. We're walking the floor of the Comic-Con, of the con. As those are called, which I learned. And there was just these people in these outfits that just clearly took days to weeks to make. There was a girl walking around who had to be 5 foot even, who was carrying a sledgehammer double the size of her just all day, like on her shoulders.
It was like a Japanese manga like type thing. It was sick.
Yeah. She's just walking around with that. Now that's a commitment, right? I get tired like when my backpack has too much in it. She's got a Japanese manga. She's rolling around. She's 5 feet tall, getting in and out of cars. I couldn't believe it. Blew me away.
They all like all those people. They all like to bang in those outfits.
Yeah, right. They do a lot of that.
What's the fucking? When I used to do, now of course I can't act this way anymore, unfortunately. But like back in the day when I was doing the cons with, when I was running Kevin Smith's booth, me and Brian Johnson would those fucking girls are twisted. Like we'd be getting blowjobs in the booth and shit like that. Like back in the day, from a girl dressed as like one of the Mortal Kombat characters, like that.
In the booth?
In the booth, yeah. Like in the
Sonya wins.
Like during the thing?
During the thing, yeah. Like they just
Jesus Christ, I'm not having a daughter.
Well, because it's like we had this thing called the girls where we call them con hot. Which is just like
con hot.
You get like like an average girl.
Be careful here.
Straight down the middle.
Right.
A solid 6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who we'd all be lucky to marry. But when she got to the con dressed as Sonya, suddenly she's not in the real world anymore.
No,
you know what I mean? Suddenly she was an 8.
It's by a different standard. Yeah.
Sure, just like women have a thing for men in uniform.
Exactly right.
Right.
Yeah. If I joined the Navy, I'd be a solid 6.
Right. But it can't really, of course we can never act that way anymore. But like, so there is this thing. Those comic fans, like, it's almost like
why can't you act like that anymore? Is it because of your status in life, like what you look like right now, or what is it?
No, I'm still like a con 7. I'm all right. Yeah, I'm okay.
Right,
like
good,
con's where I go up.
Are you kidding me? I can't dress as Sonya no more.
So I mean, what they do is they wait all year, like, because now it's a little bit different. Now, to be a comic book fan and a video game fan, it's almost like cool nowadays. It's not like it used to be. It used to have a stigma. I remember the fucking hard days. The hard days of being a comic book fan when everybody else was fucking chasing pussy. I remember that shit. But now it's sort of cool and it's more accepted. But like back then it was, and I'm talking the late 90s. When this was like up for the height for me, and it was like you would wait all year round, like all these geeks and comic book fans would wait all year round, and then they'd converge, and suddenly they're accepted, and when they're with like-minded people, and nobody's making fun of them, and it's not a waste of your life, and all this shit. It was just so it would like break out into like this fucking Roman orgy. You would just have you would go to parties at night, and the bathtubs would be filled with all sorts of alcohol and ice, and people would just be getting fucking drunk, and there'd be like a fat kid in the Doctor Who. And he'd be the most popular guy at the party. It was fucking insane. It was insane.
It's like me with bowling.
Sure, exactly like you was
when we made the championship senior year.
You keep saying we. I was never on your team.
The royal we, the Monsignor Farrell we.
Right.
Oh,
I was tops that. I had a good weekend.
You played against other schools?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow. What would you? So you played as the Monsignor Farrell
bowlers.
What was that like?
No, the Monsignor Farrell varsity bowling team.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Did you have a jacket with like a bowling ball on it?
No, I wasn't that cool. I think I tried to get one, and my father made it like we couldn't afford it, but he knew in his mind, he was like, yeah, we can't afford it. He's doing me a solid. Thanks, Pops. I think he was doing Joe. He's like, no, you know what? You stick with the regular one. We can't afford the emblem. It was like $4.
You get to the bowling alley, and you have like that switchblade comb.
I had a rhino. I had a locker at the alley with my own bowling bag, resin powder, and own shoes. That said Joe on them. My own bowling shoes.
Well, I mean, you know what? If you're going to bowl,
jump in.
You're going to bowl. I'm not going to.
So I went through a similar thing.
Sure.
I went to Bowling Con in Staten Island in the late 90s, and I was getting my balls were getting handled by everybody. I was throwing strikes all over that guy.
But Comic Con's fun. We released the comic book, the Impractical Jokers. Promotional comic book.
Right. Limited edition. It's our origin story.
That's right.
Which is fun. DC did it. It was great. And that was really, really cool to see and have. We got to go to some parties.
Yeah.
When people didn't know where we were there either.
You know what?
We got a couple, actually.
We went to the Superman party, which was the most exciting thing I've done awesome. In a long time.
Superman party was a good time.
Superman's 75th anniversary.
Went to the Playboy party?
Yeah, it was funny because you guys left the Superman party without telling me. Yeah. I was looking for him. I'm walking
Classic miscommunication.
I was talking to DC comic editors. I was talking to like Doug Jones, who plays a lot of like comic book characters, like stop motion. Like I was just into it. You know what I mean? I was like running around and stuff like that. And I go to find them and I'm looking. So I text Joe and he's like, "Yeah, we're at the Playboy party." I was like,
he's like, "You left?" I'm like, "Yeah." Murray said he told you. Murray didn't tell me. And then
he left me in a strange city.
But in his defense, we were still coming off the high of meeting Alyssa Milano.
Yeah, they met. I didn't meet her. I wasn't there.
Yeah, you were busy talking to a stop motion guy. I was talking to the boss.
The boss.
Yeah, we.
This has actually become the name drop podcast.
No, because all the stories end up in us being nobody.
Nobody. Yeah, so it's fine. She had no idea who we were. We talked to her about our. Staten Island.
Because she's from Staten Island. Alyssa Milano's from
She lived on Staten Island for a little while.
She lived here, right?
She corrected us immediately when we said, "Oh, you're from Staten Island too?" She goes, "No, I lived there for a little while."
I'm sure she did.
She named the school she went to and stuff. Talked to her for a minute. That was interesting. But then the Playboy party, it was interesting because we were like, all right, we're going to go to the Playboy party. And we're like, okay. The Suitman party was on top of the rooftop of the Hard Rock.
Yeah.
An insane setting. Gorgeous, beautiful.
I'm telling you, those
really
comic guys, they
really did it, right? So
loose.
we go to Playboy party.
Yeah.
And it's literally in a vacant parking lot. Like they rented out a blacktop parking lot, like where you park your cars during the day. Put up a sound stage, one of those.
A bunch of porta-johns.
Porta potties. And that was the Playboy party. It was,
they did unleash many waitresses dressed like sluts, though.
Many slut
Which,
waitresses.
of course, dressed like sluts. Not saying they were sluts.
No, they're just dressed like them.
Right.
Yes, you guys are telling me because I couldn't join.
Yes, Sal
cannot be there.
Yes.
But that was good. That was a good time.
I'll tell you about Alyssa.
It was my first time ever there.
It was great. It was a lot of fun.
Alyssa Milano, was she it for you guys too when you were younger or no?
No,
For
I
me,
was Samantha Fox.
I was.
Well, that's a little later.
I was all sorts of Alyssa Milano.
Grammar school.
I was, you know what, I was
Samantha Fox was like high school.
Kelly Kapowski a little bit more.
More than Alyssa Milano?
Yeah.
That explains a lot, actually.
They had
a little
those,
more like a Kapowski.
They had those. I'm going to embarrass myself, but you know they have those
Tiger Beat.
teen magazines.
Tiger Beat, yeah.
Well, they had Bop.
Yeah, sure.
Big Bopper. 16.
Right.
They had those. Now you got to remember, I'm in grammar school, so I used to get those, and then all the girls and everybody got them. Everyone had them, and everyone in my class they used to give me the Alyssa Milano pictures. Like, I collected them. So
In school, you used to get them?
They used to give them.
You wonder why I don't remember anything from geography. You were just looking through Alyssa Milano
Yeah,
pictures.
so they used to give me. I can embarrass myself so bad.
Go,
on
do
this
it.
Podcast. Like, so they used to give me. So it's like, what is it, 8x10, whatever the size of a magazine is. That's the size of the photo. I had hundreds. So what I did was I started at the top left corner of my bedroom wall. I got tape. And I taped them one after the other, till I got to the end, and I started at another row. I went 5 or 6 rows deep. So I had probably 300 plus pictures of Alyssa Milano as wallpaper. And then I had the classic Alyssa Milano poster with her in the devil's outfit.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I had all those on. And if I think about it now, it was probably like a little excessive, but I liked her, and it was like it was harmless. But anyway, at the end of when those petered out, and I guess I had as many as I had, I started another row, and that row was, and I only had maybe 10, maybe 15 was Debbie Gibson. Remember Debbie Gibson?
Oh, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So still on the right track.
These days known as Deborah Gibson.
Yeah, Deborah Gibson, right? Now here's what you guys are going to get at me. So then for some reason, okay.
Who was the next?
This was 87, 88, and this was the height of this great album. Okay.
Oh God,
that's right. I shouldn't even get into it. But then I had a row. Oh my God, all listeners are going to get at me too. I had a row of.
Tell me some New Kids on the Block.
No, worse. 10 George Michael.
So you went from Alyssa Milano to Debbie Gibson to George Michael.
I had 10 George Michael posters on my wall. Oh my God. I mean, I also had Poison posters because that was my band and stuff. But I had like maybe 6 or 8 George Michael with his chat, from Faith. When he was really popular. He was the shit,
Yeah.
I had the George Michael up too.
Did you get any Boy George up there?
No, I had the George Michael up. And then I told you guys I was recently digging.
Well, George Michael's. I still listen to his shit.
Faith is amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want to go about putting
wallpaper up.
What were you doing?
Nothing. He was a fan.
You just wanted to look at him. I just wanted to look at him.
It was right next to your bed,
I guess
right?
it's like how you put a patch on your denim jacket. You're a fan. I put up a poster. But
no, you put up multiple posters.
Because they're small.
A row of posters.
Yeah, a row of posters of him.
How many times do you need to look at George?
I think it was Faith was my favorite album at the time. And I was whatever. But in hindsight, it's...
Well, it comes to reason
lame.
that you had a crush on Alyssa Milano or you had a crush on Debbie Gibson, right?
Yeah.
So, and you're a pre-pubescent boy.
You're still discovering yourself.
No, I was probably getting of age at that time.
Okay, so you're
not sure.
It's safe to say you started, masturbating at that point, right?
I probably. Yeah.
Okay, right. So now, did you look up at your wall and cover George Michael and just look at the pictures of Alyssa and Debbie,
no,
or did you just soak it all in all your glory?
I never did anything to George Michael. I never did.
Well,
We can agree that there is definitely George Michael pictures pinned on the wall while you're masturbating. That's for sure.
Definitely. That's all I want to.
We know that, right?
Let's think of you masturbating right now, and a commercial comes on with Wilford Brimley from Colonial Park.
Don't get me started on that mustache.
No. You're talking about a happenstance,
yes,
as opposed to creating your masturbatory environment,
a shrine, if you will.
Right. Okay, so there's an old man hanging, a picture of a painting of an old man hanging in your house right now.
Looking at it right now.
It's on the wall.
Pop.
So what if
I don't jerk off in my dining room? I'm
sure you have.
Well, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
You have an office upstairs.
Yes.
Which has a computer.
Oh, it's horrible.
Which has internet.
I've definitely jerked off with you guys looking at me.
You have posters hanging, the Impractical Jokers
I have
posters.
2 framed Impractical Jokers. And I have to tilt the monitor so it blocks the point of view, because if I accidentally make eye contact with one of you guys while I'm tugging one out, it's going to ruin everything.
You know, I think now that I just jogged my memory, I think last podcast we talked about jerking off for like 2 hours straight.
These are what our listeners want.
I will give this. I'll fuel this a little bit more.
Okay, yep.
I told you guys I recently found a bunch of old things from us when we first started Tenderloins and this and that. I found when I was younger, I used to make a magazine. It was a Nintendo magazine.
Oh, you talked about this.
Oh, yeah.
You talked about this.
Okay, so I found in that folder, where so there was like a Alyssa Milano fan club, whatever, and it was like basically in the teen magazine, there was perforations and you would cut out like a thing and you fill it out like, to the Alyssa fan club, this is who I am and this is my message or whatever.
Right.
So I found that I cut that out, I was going to write and write to them about her, I guess, or just ask some questions, like ask her this, ask her whatever you want. And I found the letter to that.
Oh my God.
Now, I'm like 10, 11. I'm like 11, 12 maybe. I'm like 15 tops, right? So,
that's a 5-year swing.
I'm probably like 11. And I wrote I read this alone in my house like a couple months ago, and I was so embarrassed alone in my house. It was like, oh, hey, fan club.
Hey, Liz fan club.
Hey, fan club. And in the magazines, they called it lists.
Oh,
yeah. So I guess I adopted that, and I was like, oh, hey, just wondering, is Liz dating anyone?
Oh, God. The same questions you get now from people?
Yes.
You were writing to Alyssa Milano.
I wrote it. It's on loose leaf in pencil.
Did you send her a picture of your tits? Because she probably hung it on the wall and masturbated to it.
So, I would write what's the... I was trying to obviously you could tell I was trying to be cool.
Right.
I'm like, oh, so, hey, what's the deal, with Liz? Is she seeing anyone? Is she connected to anyone? Who, if so, who? And is it serious?
I really wish you sent that in and they just sent back a response that just said word, exclamation point.
I was keeping it real, so
they might as well.
I'll bring it next.
I used to be real life.
One. I'll read the actual. The actual word for word.
I used to be real life stalkery. I wasn't.
No,
I was bad.
What?
Because I was really dorky and very calculated.
Who the fuck would you
this
stalk?
sounds weird.
Not even famous people. I would get crushes on girls like Christine Cordani in my 8th grade class. I was obsessed with her.
And how would you, what did you think that you would do that was over the line of normal?
I would,
the smirk on your face right now.
I rode my bike to our house once to watch her get in her car to go to basketball practice. Her house was, not kidding, probably about 6 miles from mine on my bike. And I used to wait by the woods in the house till she got in the car. And then I would ride my bike back.
But what would that fulful?
I got to see her.
Just to see her.
I can't tell if that's cute or really weird.
I used to do that. No, then I used to, it was terrible. I don't want to say here. Yes, I used to ride my bike to a house.
Change your name. Change it up.
No. I was just very I would not pay attention in class and just stare at her and write her name over Christine Gatto, shit like that.
Wow,
it was bad.
I thought girls did that.
So did effeminate boys. Apparently, didn't have much friends.
Jesus, when I was
only in grammar school though, because that's when I wasn't in
grammar school's what age?
I think
13, 12, 13.
13,
12, 13. Yeah, we graduated high school at 18, right? 17.
Yeah.
13. It is still 13.
Yeah.
When I was much younger than that, when I was like in PS53, I wrote a note to this girl, Jennifer. And, it was basically like, it's like your basic, poorly written, like, love note, and slipped it in her lunch bag, and then panicked and had to get it out of the lunch bag.
Great.
That's like an episode of Seinfeld.
Yeah, like I did end up getting it back. No, I didn't get it back. I tried really hard to get it back, but I had dropped it off on the way to the bathroom because, they had those little bullshit lockers, the wood things, and I got it in her bag, and then I was like, I gotta get it, and I tried to go to the bathroom again, and the teacher wouldn't let me go to the bathroom again, but I didn't sign it.
Oh, nice. So it was anonymous. I recessed back in college, though, and started stalking in college again. I used to leave anonymous. I used to write anonymous poems to Megan Donahue and slide them under her door and run away.
This is in college?
College, freshman year of college.
What would it be like a poem?
I got one published, actually. I should try to find it.
Get the fuck
see, this is the stuff we need to be bringing in.
I got one.
I promise I'm going to do some homework for the next podcast. I will have some.
I'm still not. I wasn't necessarily good.
You got one published in the school
book. I got one published in the Poetry Journal that you had to send away to, like this mail order thing.
Oh, I got news for you, buddy.
Yeah.
That's like the Who's Who.
That's exactly right. Which I was in 2 years. It's the same thing. But then I actually... That was my prestige. That was my big reveal because I used to anonymously slip them under the door.
Get out! So you were like, what was the first name?
Megan Donahue. And then I did we were working. She was in a sorority and I was in a fraternity, and we were working a table for taking clothes or doing whatever, like some charity bullshit. And I left the book open to the poem that came in the real thing, and I was like, and she was like, read it, got beat red. Like she knew it was me already. Like clearly, my school only had 2,000 people in it. She knew it was me. Word got around and she was like, thanks. And that was it. And that was my big plan. It didn't come out.
Wow.
I bought her in a charity event too for $600. I bought a date with her for $600.
How'd that go?
It was the worst. I had the shits the whole night. I was so nervous. We went to see a movie. We went to go for dinner at a movie. I want to say it was 7.
Oh, man.
Were we in college when 7 was out?
96, I think.
95. No. Might not be 7.
I'll look it up.
But I forget what movie it was. I think it was, for some reason in my head, it was 7. It definitely had Brad Pitt. $600.
Where'd you get the money?
My father. He saved the money from the patch on the jacket. He gave me back $600. I had some money from working. I was in college.
Right.
95. So it's freshman year.
No.
Freshman into sophomore.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Freshman into 94 into 95. So it could have been either freshman or sophomore year.
Yes, I'm pretty sure it was 7. So I bought her. I bought her in this dating thing, right? But literally, I was in the back row, and she was like one of the hot girls. So she was like the money maker, right? So everybody was like $60, $70, $80, and I got into this tete-a-tete with this guy. And it ended up, and I just literally, I had $600 to spend, and I made the jump from 220. I was just like, 600, and the place was like, and just looked at me, and they're like,
oh my God. Because I bet you that no one spent anywhere near, you probably.
She was the thoroughbred for that.
Yeah, but even for her, I mean, the whole place probably was shit their pants.
They couldn't believe it. And then we ended up going to a date. We went to a date, which I had to pay for, so I was in the hole for $800. I went to go see 7. We went for dinner and a movie. Went for dinner. I couldn't eat shit.
The shits.
I just kept leaving the table to fucking blow up the bathroom. I kept coming back. I was sweating. You know how when I get nervous, my face sweats and I have a list. You make fun of me. It looks like I get patted in butter. Yeah. Right? That's what it looked like. The whole dinner, I was a sweaty mess. Then we went to see 7. I couldn't even pay attention to the movie. I was too. And then we drove back to campus. And I was like, good night. She's like, good night. And that was it. And we lived in the same dorm. And we awkwardly walked to the same dorm. And she went upstairs. And
was she nice at least? Or was she super a bitch?
Nice. No. Super nice.
So would she have gone on a date with you not for the 600?
No way, no.
Wow.
Yeah, she was like dating football
players. Where is she now?
And stuff. She's married and lives in Colorado, I think. I got over it. Yeah, I was fine with it after. Once I became my own. Yeah. But yeah, I was like, it was crazy.
Cut this out if we need, but did I ever tell the story about the really bad date I went on where the girl kept on ordering steak and black and tans and I ordered nothing?
I don't think so.
I could have swore I told the story to somebody, and I don't want to tell it on here if we told it already.
I don't think we told it on the podcast.
On Tenderloins.
No?
I don't think so.
I have a bad date story. I got set up on a blind date. I was working at Prudential in like 99, and my desk mate set me up with this girl. It was a blind date. We talked a couple times on email. And I said, I'm going to go pick you up and we'll go on this date. So we went, she lived in Jersey. So I went on to like Route 9 in Jersey. It's nothing but like strip malls and everything. I pick her up and we go to like it was like the only thing open. It's like a Fridays or whatever.
Right.
Or something like that. So we sit in a booth and she seemed cool, you know, but she seemed like she reminded me of Janine Garofalo. Put that in your head. Okay. And so I was into it, you know, but it turned out she's a psycho. But anyway, so this is the first date. We sit down and the waiter's, it's like 10 o'clock at night or whatever. Waiter says, what would you like? I said, I ordered a vodka club. Okay. She's like, I swear to Christ, I swear to you, this is how it unfolded when I was sitting there. So picture me.
Right.
I just met her. She was cute. Picked her up at a house. We drove to this place. You know, she sits down. We're talking now. We had to exchange emails, so we know a little bit about each other. So it's light. It's fun. I said, I'll have a vodka club. She goes, I'll have a black and tan. I'll have this strip steak topped with shrimp skewers.
Of course.
Okay. So, and then he's like, all right. And then I was like, oh, I was like, I'm not going to eat. I'm not really that hungry. So whatever. No big deal. Okay. Whatever. I guess, you know. So she's like, all right. So she starts digging into this steak. She eats the whole fucking steak. She eats all the shrimp on top of it. He comes back. He's like, do you want anything else to drink? I was like, I have a vodka club. She orders another black and tan and like a shot, which is fine. You know, like,
sure.
She wasn't like, she looked good and everything, but I thought it was peculiar.
Yeah.
That you
coming out of the gate hot.
She commits to. I went first. I didn't order anything. So normally you'd be like, "Oh, are you going to eat?" I wouldn't mind eating.
Right,
I'm still a little hungry.
She's definitely Hold on 1 second. She's definitely breaking all sorts of
social etiquettes.
Order what you want, but she didn't even say to me like, "Oh, I'm hungry. Do you mind if I eat?" Or "Are you sure you're not going to eat?" Or "Do you want to share this?" Hey, I'm thinking about.
Did she even offer to share? Did she offer you a shrimp on the barbie?
I don't remember. I mean, I'm sure she did. I don't remember, but before saying anything, she just looked up and said, I have a black and tan. It was a T-bone steak. And with the, and you know, where they let you add the shrimp.
Yeah, shrimp skewers.
Yeah. And so, my guys, he drops a steak in front of her like a sizzling skillet with the shrimp. She's pounding down like fucking stout. I'm like literally sipping. I like squeeze the lime into the thing. He comes back. Do you want anything else? I have a black and tan. I have a chocolate cake. I just order another.
She saw you coming.
Vodka cups. I'm drinking the vodka.
There's a girl out of
throwing down a chocolate cake, another black and tan. She gets another black and tan, whatever. Right?
Do you still have a number?
No. So
this girl gets down the way I get down.
I don't even kiss her like official, like kiss her goodnight. I kiss her on the cheek goodnight. She goes back home. I go back. So the next day I go to work. Okay, right. My friend's name's Danny. Okay, he sits next to me. He is to this day in my life. Going on 37 years, I never met a bigger pothead than him in my life. Okay? He smoked pot 2 to 3 times a day, every single day. Excellent. In the middle of work, right? So we used to take the ferry across over to Manhattan to go to work. He was nice enough to pick me up every morning at 7 o'clock. We had to catch a 7:20 boat. He'd pick me up every morning at 7 o'clock. He would roll outside my house. He'd beep the horn, and I'd look out the window, and his Toyota Corolla was a haze of smoke. He was inside. He was inside it, and he waved through the smoke. I remember looking up from my window, looking down through his sunroof, and it was a haze. And I would open the car door, and I would have to wait like 2 minutes for it to open. He would laugh it off, but all the smoke had to get out because I would get a contact.
Fucking dangerous.
And he'd be like, "Hey, Sal!" Like he was the quintessential pothead, right? He was always red, sweaty, and his eyes were glassy. But everyone loved him for it. Like, there was one story, legend has it, that my friends are walking down the street just hanging out, and he would just pop out of bushes and be like, "What's up, everybody?" Like, he would just come out of the bushes, right? So...
get back on track.
I tell him this whole story the next day. He's high as shit, of course, at work. I tell him this whole story. I'm like, "Yeah, the girl you set me up with, I think her name was Kara. I'm not really sure, though." I'm like, "The girl you set me up with was cool, but she ordered a fucking T-bone steak." I was like, "I had a vodka club, and that was it." She ordered a T-bone steak with all the shrimp on it and everything like that, and like black and tan, and she ordered chocolate cake. And he's like, "Oh, yeah? Oh, man. Oh, all right." I was like, "Yeah, you're going to see her again?" I'm like, "I guess. I don't know, blah, blah, blah." So, of course... The phone rings, right? And, it's like we have extensions, and if one extension, if it rings 3 times on mine, it rolls over to his.
Okay, sure.
So I was busy, and she called my desk, and it rolled over to his. Mm-hmm. But I'm sitting there. I'm only like 3 feet from him. And I hear him pick up the phone and go, Prudential. Oh, hey, yeah. Yeah, I heard you got that steak and shrimp. He says, I'm typing and I just freeze. I look up at the monitor and I'm just frozen. He's like, yeah, you went for the steak and shrimp. Huh? And now he's like turning the screws. He's like, yeah, chocolate cake. So it sounds like all you did was complain about the fucking steak. I go, damn, no. He goes, hold on, I'll put him on. He turns and he goes, let's say her name's Carrie. He's like, Carrie, it's for you. Carrie's on hold. I was like, what am I supposed to say to this girl? I can't believe you said that. Say? I don't. I remember I just picked it up and I was like, oh, hey Danny. Oh,
so high.
So high. Yeah. So that was a bad day, man. Yeah.
I once kidnapped a girl.
Oh God. I had a date. I mean, it's really a darker ending than yours. But I went on a date with this girl that I met at a party, and I've been on like maybe in my life 5 dates. I don't really that's not part of my thing. Thank you, Stacey. And I was like, went well. We went back to her place, and she was living with my friend at the time. And we went back to her room. Have I ever told you this story before? And like, I was just out of a long-term relationship. My ex-fiance and I broke up, so I was like, well, this is it. I'm going to dive in and do this. We go back to her room, and like we start messing around. She had a great body on it, and she goes, I want you to hit me.
Oh, wait, who is this again?
This, I don't think you've ever, oh yeah, you do. You did meet her. You were at the party that I met her at Janine's Halloween party. She was her roommate. Remember that?
Yes.
She was really hot.
I remember the party. I don't remember the person.
Right. Okay. It was her. I have a picture of her. I can show you. Right. And she's like, I want you to hit me, like, hard. And I was like, wait. I'm like, what do you mean hit you? Hit you, like slap you? Like, slap your ass? She's like, no. She's like, I want you to, like, fucking, like, unload. All, like Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Like Mike Tyson's Punch Out. And I was like, well, I was like, ha 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 ha. So and I kept fooling around, and I was like giving like half-hearted like slaps on a thigh. You know what I mean? Like kiss.
Take that.
So you would do like, I'm like, all right, I know girls sometimes like to get spanked when, but she was like, no, fist. Like I want a fist, and I want to get hit. And I was like, ooh. Yeah, and I'm like, hey, whatever, man. Now I'm older. Now a girl tells me to hit her. It's like,
it's not, what was that? It's, hit me.
Right, like, you get a little more.
No, it's,
I mean, whatever. I'm not here to judge anybody's sex, and I guess she was just ahead of the curve than I was. But it got so lame because, like, as I was fooling around with her, she said it again. She's like, I want you to hit me.
She's disappointed.
So my response to it, at this point, I was sitting on the edge of the bed, right, with my legs on the floor, and she was straddling me like she was giving me a lap dance. And she told me to hit her again. And my response to it was to grab her ass and, like, lift her over my shoulder. So she went like an acrobat over my shoulder.
So you suplexed her?
Sunset flip?
Yeah. And she hurts her neck. She goes, ow! And I'm like, what?
Take that!
You like catapult.
On my grandmother's grave. She screamed, ow, said, what the fuck was that? You hurt my neck. I got up without saying a word.
And left.
Zipped up my pants, walked out of the room. Didn't say anything to her. I was like, fuck it. She sends me a text later on. She's like, maybe we could try that again another night. I never answered. I never talked to her again.
Wow.
You started watching, like, WrestleManias?
Yeah. I didn't even know what I was thinking. I was just like, okay, this is fun and sexy. And just flipped her over. It was horrible. Horrible.
I murdered a man once.
Ah, there you go. Just to get an erection.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining us.
There we go.
So we cover everything we kind of want to just catch up on.
We need your help spreading the word about our television show, Impractical Jokers.
Yeah.
We gotta get on the radar here in a big way. That's a big push. Get the Tenderloins out there.
Yeah. So why don't we just do something like if you can I'll make something up. Like if people can prove that they turned 10 people onto the show, we'll do something.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Oh, you just say whatever you want to do here. So you say if people could prove that how do people prove it? We need people to post videos to tell people they watch it on social media and tag us.
Maybe.
Oh, how about this? Wait, do we want people to watch 10 together? Because then that's only
Like a
one
party,
television.
like
That's only
parties?
one television.
No, it's all right though. They're spreading the word. That's fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, throw a party.
Yeah, we want video from you.
Uninitiated people.
Newbies.
People.
Newbies. And look, yes, you can lie. We'll never know.
Right.
Let's go honor system, okay? You could have people that love the show too.
Right.
But invite people.
At
that
least
don't.
3 new people. Let's try. That's an easy bar to fill.
Yeah. So have a viewing party. Any new episode on Thursday night at 10. Just throw it on your phone, and then have at least 3 new people that don't watch the show. Right. Do us that favor, and then upload it to Twitter or YouTube and tag us.
Right.
And if we should do a hashtag.
Yeah. Hashtag IJ Party.
Oh, that's good.
Hashtag IJ Party.
Right.
Yep.
Throw it up on Twitter, and if we see it and you guys are on there, and there's 3 newbies, and you guys are having a viewing party, we will send you. How about an autograph?
Comic book.
An autograph comic book.
Comic book.
That's great.
That limited edition DC comic book that they made for Comic-Con. We have some extra, and we will autograph it to you, and we will send it to you guys.
That's right.
Yep. So hashtag IJ Party.
Right.
And show us a video of you watching the show with new people.
Right.
And we will send you a autographed comic book.
That's right.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's
Whoever
a lot
does
of
it.
fun.
I like it.
And then follow us, the Tenderloins. If you don't, spread the word about us. The Tenderloins, at the Tenderloins on Twitter, the Tenderloins Comedy Troupe on Facebook, and then, of course, the Tenderloins.com. So the Tenderloins.com will have merchandise. It'll have our tour dates. It has sketches. It has this free podcast. So direct people to it, share that, and then we all have our own individual Twitters.
Yep.
And that's it. So the show is on every Thursday night on True TV right now, 10 o'clock Eastern, but check local listings.
9
Right.
p.m. Central.
Anything else? Anything at all?
No, well, our tour dates are up. Get your tickets. They're selling fast, so make sure you check out.
Oh, that's big. So the tour, the fall tour, all the way through the end of February has been announced, and you can get tickets on the Tenderloins.com, and we are going all over the country. So as soon as you hear this, go check it out and get your tickets as soon as possible.
The live show's fun. It's more tenderloin than it is Impractical Joker, but we promise at least one big laugh.
Something for everyone on the live show if you haven't seen it. And I guess that's it. That's a lot of fun.
That's it.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to episode 12?
Episode 12.
Episode 12 of the Tenderloins Podcast. I'm Ryan Quinn.
I'm Sal Volcano.
And I'm Joe Gatto.
Word.
Sometimes there'd be too many. I murdered the butterflies. Dead butterflies. Dead butterflies. What could be better than a dead butterfly? The darkness within.